Welcome to Flambeau's latest masterpiece. Welcome to the Master Series, King Strut. Flambeau talks about realism that gets results. And that's one thing that we focus on with each individual decoy that hits a store shelf. First it gets sculpted, then it gets tested over and over again in the field. Whether it's the Boss Buck, the King Strut, their extensive line of waterfowl decoys, it is realism that gets results. What do we mean by realism that gets results? Number one, if you're going out there and trying to pull the wool over an old buck's eyes or an old gobbler's eyes, it has to be realistic. We're part-time hunters hunting full-time game. How do you fool their eyesight? It's got to be spot on when it comes to realism. Whether that's the sculpting, the painting, the body posture, every single detail that goes into a Flambeau decoy just has to be realistic, otherwise it never hits the shelf. And if we can't fool Mother Nature, we certainly can't fool the consumer. Probably the one person most instrumental in the King Strut decoy was Tad Brown. Tad's been turkey hunting his entire life. He put every single effort he could into this decoy to make it the most realistic strutting decoy on the market. And here's Tad talking to you about a little bit about how to put it together and then how to use it. It has to be realistic, and that's why we call it realism that gets results. Watch for yourself.
When your King Strut comes from the factory, in the box you're going to find your foam body with the realistic head. You're going to have a synthetic tail with a photorealistic image on it. It has a wire spring in there. It's a T. You just open it up. It folds open. You place that into the clip on the back of the decoy. The open tail drops right into the clip. Make sure it's even right to left. You simply take the synthetic beard and insert it into the grommet on his chest. You just push it in there and the little teeth will hold it in place. It'll lay naturally. You can put it to whatever length you like, use it the full length or shorten it. The stake is folded up. You simply unfold the stake, snap it into position, put it in the ground, set your decoy on there, place the top of the stake into the grommet, and there you go, you're ready to hunt. The stake you get with your King Strut decoy is a unique stake that we've designed. We've taken a lot of positive points and built them into one stake. Instead of round, it has a right angle design to it where it has two planes coming together for stability. It also has a metal point on the bottom for hard ground and frozen ground, along with a footstep. The footstep helps you step on it and push it down in there if you need that, and will prevent that stake from turning and adds to that stability. The second thing about this stake is it's two-piece like most stakes, but it's connected and it hinges. You pop it out, hinge it up in place and pop it back. It's very stable. It has a little knob on top that helps you locate your grommet on the top of your decoy, which allows you 360-degree motion depending on your wind. When you're done with it, you pop it apart, fold it together. Your parts are always together. The most common problem with two-piece stakes is you've always got one half and you've lost your other half, or you're fighting to look for it in a hurry to get that decoy out. This stake is one piece, you fold it together and you're ready to go. It's a perfect stake. A couple of unique features about the King Strut decoy in regards to movement is the fact that the decoy has a big hole in the bottom of it where the stake goes through. There's a grommet in the decoy that allows the stake to pop into there. And this allows the decoy to go in a 360-degree motion. What also that big hole does is it allows that decoy to wobble from side to side and front and back, which gives that realistic motion that really adds to the realism. The great thing about the Flambeau full-body decoy is the fact that it's lightweight and made of foam. Most of the competitors are a hard, molded rubber-type material that are quite heavy. And as you know, when you're out in the woods turkey hunting, you want to be as light and portable as you can. You can actually fold it in half. It comes with a portable mesh bag with carrying straps. Your decoy, your stake, your beard, your fan, everything can fit in this bag. It's lightweight, it weighs a little over 3 pounds, and you're ready to go. At Flambeau, we're especially proud of our Master Series heads. It's a patent-pending process where we take a real turkey's head and we freeze-dry that head. We then pull a mold off that freeze-dried head. And the end result is a 100% true in size and look turkey head. With a realistic paint job, that head is as close to a real turkey as you can get without taking a mounted turkey to the woods. To add a real tail to your decoy, you simply, one, use a dried turkey tail that's already been dried and slide it into the clip in the back. In the back where the tail goes is a clip that accepts the synthetic tail that comes with it, or a real dried tail sets in there. In the case of a fresh tail, you get the green turkey clamp with the turkey. You can actually fan the turkey out using the two placement pins on the side and actually clip that together and set that in the decoy and you're ready to hunt. In the case of using a green tail on your decoy, as I spoke of earlier, you want to utilize your green tail clamp that comes with your decoy. And you simply use the two placing pins or location pins on each side. You stick the very farthest tail feather to the right side under that pin, and then you spread your tail and put the very furthest feather on the left side behind the other locating pin. And what you have is a perfect fan, and once the clamp is pushed together, it can be slid into the decoy. You have a perfect tail. To prepare a real tail for drying, once you've harvested that trophy and you want to preserve that tail to hang on the wall, or in the case you want to use it with your decoy, the first thing you do is once you cut that tail off, you try to preserve as many of those feathers on the front as you can. Once you do that, turn that tail upside down. Fillet in from the right and fillet in from the left, down next to the quills. There's a bone in the middle there, so you take your side cutters and cut up that bone and remove that. The back side is as clean as you can get it at that point. Then you flip it over and carefully skin that tail back, retaining as many feathers as you can, and it will go up about 1.5 inches before it stops. At that point, there's a little oil sac in there. Cut that oil sac out and trim any excess bone that may be there. At that point, you're ready to treat your tail. We recommend treating it with borax washing powder. You can buy it at the grocery store, taxidermists use it. Liberally treat those raw meat areas with this powder. Place it in your green tail clamp, shut her up, make sure all your feathers are in place like you like them, very pretty, and then using a zip tie, a piece of wire, or a string, tie that shut. At that point, you hang it in the barn or your garage, let it dry, and then you're ready to hang it on the wall or use it on your decoy the next year. Utilizing a real beard on your King Strut decoy is as simple as falling off a log. You simply remove the beard from your fresh harvested turkey, or use a beard that you have laying around from past years you've harvested in the past. Take that beard, and using the oval shaped grommet that's on the chest of the turkey, you simply pull the synthetic beard out and slide it in and let those teeth from the inside hold it in place. It's that simple. Pull the old one out, stick the new one in. One of the neatest features that the King Strut decoy offers that no other decoy manufacturer offers is the ability to use real wings. What the real wings do is they reflect the sun naturally like a real turkey. You don't need them, but you can do this to make it more realistic. You simply cut the wings off of a harvested turkey. You come down to the last knuckle here where the primary wings are. That's the only part you need. Cut it off at the primaries. You have a right and a left side, so make sure you get it right. And you can do one of two things. Using the grommets on the side of the body, lay the wings up there, and using a zip tie those wings to the side. Mark and I like to cut a little slot there, right where those wings started. You can see where they're painted on the body. There's a little half moon, about 4 or 5 inches. Make that cut, slide the wing inside there, then come in with your zip tie and zip tie it. And what you have then is you have a decoy with a real tail, a real beard, and real wings. It doesn't get any better than that.
You know, one thing about this decoy, it's so realistic, you've really got to keep safety in mind. Always put your orange out, always conceal that decoy. I mean, if you get it out more than just a few feet, it looks exactly like a strutting turkey. So always keep safety in mind when you go afield. Here's some tips on safety.
The most important thing that comes with your King Strut decoy is the blaze orange mesh bag. We at Flambeau insist that you take this blaze orange carrying bag, this mesh bag, and transport your decoy in there for safety's sake. This thing looks so realistic that it's potentially dangerous to pack it through the woods. Be sure, use your blaze orange bag and keep your decoy in there. Whether you carry it in your vest or you utilize the shoulder straps, please use that orange bag for safety. The bag we show during the demonstration is an olive drab mesh bag, but with your turkey, when it comes from the factory, it will have a blaze orange bag. One of the most important things about hunting with decoys, with any decoy as far as that goes, but especially the King Strut, is he is so realistic that danger element is there. We recommend as you come to the woods, as you travel through the woods, as you leave the woods, make sure that decoy is in the blaze orange bag provided. But also, as important, when you're setting up in the field to hunt, keep in mind where that decoy is in relation to where you're setting. Make sure that anybody who would approach that decoy and potentially take a shot at him is not going to harm you. Try to pick a tree that's wider than your shoulders to set against, and make sure your back is pointed in the direction that any approaching hunter who happens by would have to approach that decoy. Make sure that you have a good visibility and that decoy is not within shooting range of anywhere a guy could potentially slip up, fire at the decoy, and hit you or any of your partners. At Flambeau, safety is first. Our decoys are so realistic. Please use the common sense and the tools that we have provided you to play safe and hunt safe.
You know, one thing about the King Strut I think that really helps it is the fact that it adds versatility to your overall setup. I can remember the days when I used to have a hard-shelled hen decoy, and that's the only thing I had to put out. Nowadays, you've got the Featherflex, you've got the Flambeau Master Series, all of these realistic-looking decoys. You can go out, you can put a single up, if that's what the situation details. You can put a whole flock up, you can put the King Strut up, and I like to break it down by the spring. Early in the spring, when those birds are breaking up and you've got a lot of territorial instincts amongst those gobblers, that's when I like to focus on just a longbeard or just a jake. Try to get inside that turkey's ego and work with the season. If the flock's breaking up, then try and tee them off. King Strut works very well, particularly in the early part of the season. As you progress through the season and you get to the point where the birds are a little bit more henned up, that's where I'm going to put a few more turkeys into my setup. I may have the King Strut with 2 or 3 hens. I may have a jake off to the side. And think about realism. One quick tip I might give you about decoy placement, whether it's early season, peak of the mating, or late in the season, always have those birds within about 10 or 15 yards of your position. Put them at an angle where you're going to go to your natural swing. I'm a right-handed shooter. I'm going to swing to my left naturally. I'm going to have those birds just a little bit off to my left. Hopefully the turkey's right out here where he can see it. And then I always want those birds facing away from the oncoming gobbler. They're a flocking animal. Make that oncoming bird think that they're flocked up and walking away. You're going to have a lot more birds break down and come on in if they see that flock's moving. As you get into the latter part of the season, we talked about the pecking order. The later in the season it gets, sometimes I'm going to go back to a single hen or a single strutting turkey. Once those hens start setting and the birds aren't nearly as flocked up and you see a lot of singles, that's the time to go out and put singles out in your set. So break it down by season. Gobbler early, flocks in the middle when the peak of the mating's there, and as those birds start to split up, you see singles, single hen, single jakes, or single King Struts. You'll have more success if you pay attention to what you're seeing out there and then act accordingly with your decoy set. We had so much fun with this decoy this past spring. I can't tell you how many times we were successful in the field. Let's go to the field now. Here's some scenes from Longbeard Madness 13, our latest production in the Drury Outdoor Series. Let's take a look at King Strut in action.
I don't even see the hens anymore, do you? Yeah, they're left of it. Okay. All right, dog's rolling. We got birds at the other end of the field. He's filming. Fine. Fine, I got his camera up. I think that's a camera.
Big go, huh? That was cool.
Did he twist us in a like a little... He got good spurs too, look at there.
Another old turkey. He came in so good. This old Decoy, he just continues to impress us. I never made a call. So the old boss gob is gonna put Mad Calls out of business because I didn't have to call one iota this morning. He did the trick, he did it visually. Early morning, got him out, brought him over here. I said, okay, this is the perfect situation. Dog was filming from the box, Terry and I were together, and of course, the boss gob was out here in the perfect place. And I said it on the way in, this turkey read the script last night. He could not have worked in any better. I just can't tell you how much luck we've had with this particular decoy this year. And if you look when he comes in from both angles, he looks exactly like this decoy. There's other strutters on the market, but I don't know of any of them that look as accurate as this. And I really believe it's the detail in the head, the option to put the beard in, the option to put the wings in, and the tail fan, and the body obviously matches perfectly. And he's gonna be the demise of a lot more old turkeys in his day, the old boss gob. It was just one bird after another that fell to this decoy for us this spring. Myself, Tad Brown, Jared Lurk, Terry Drury, Coon Dog. We all had these prototypes. No, they weren't the finished product, but they worked amazingly well. The more things we added, the more success we had. Let's go back to the field now, back to Iowa, and watch Coon Dog take a beautiful Iowa gobbler.
He'll suck a hand in, he should suck some strutter in. I feel like I'm deer hunting. Let him come to this strutter. Oh, the two longbeards just stepped out of him. Right here. Right in front of us. Come out of that tip. Let's pull them out of that ditch, and hopefully they'll see that strutter and they'll come. So that's what I'm working on.
Woo! Iowa, baby! Wow, yeah! That, whoa! God, it was great. Whoa! We have sat in the rain all day and sitting watching the Weather Channel, Should we go? Should we not? Mark checked it one more time and said, dog, let's go. It's clearing up, and this is what it pays for. Terry, stay home and sleep, baby, because I got a dead turkey. Wow! Yeah, baby! Look at that, baby! Yeah! That was cool, man. I love it.
Good job.
Muzzle loader, baby! Woo! TC all the way. Oh, an Iowa turkey. Woo! Oh, yeah. Boy, the reason why he's wet is because we've had wet weather for 2 days. Today was an exceptional day. It rained all day. So what we did is we just kept an eye on the Weather Channel, and we saw that there was a break coming in, so Mark goes, we gotta go. So like I told him, I go, well, we can't kill birds if we're sitting in here. So sometimes, even though, you know, it ain't the best of weather and everything like that, you still gotta keep trying. So that's what we did. Just goes to show you, you just gotta keep working at these turkeys. It wasn't a strut and gobbling turkey coming in, but he was coming in to fight, and the strutter pulled it off. Thanks for the strutter. Iowa, baby, you can't say no more about it when you kill these bad boys. We've had a rough week and a half in Missouri, and Iowa started off with a bang.
Now it's Brother Terry's turn. We're in North Missouri. I've got my little palm quarter. Coon Dog's filming. Terry's got the gun, and we've got King Strut out in front of us. Beautiful setting, big bottom field. Coon Dog's got the primary camera. I'm gonna sit back with the secondary view and do a little calling. Got the boss gob out, got the hen out. We'll see if this works out.
Just knew that the decoy was gonna do its job. We had it positioned kind of in an area where we thought they'd be able to see it, and we thought if they got a visual on it, they'd come right in. For whatever reason, they just were a little bit apprehensive about coming through the standing beans, stayed out in the field just a little bit too far, but the fact that we had that strutter and a hen decoy in place, they felt very, very comfortable walking by there. Well, there was only one thing to do. The turkey obviously was not coming in, he was following a hen, so I had to get a little bit closer to him. This is the 8th day. 8 days of hunting in northern Missouri, and usually North Missouri for us has been our mainstay. I mean, we've always had good luck, and we've had a lot of guests come in, and everybody's killed some turkeys, but I've had to hunt pretty hard this year for a doggone bird.
All the way down to squeezing the trigger there. I mean, you guys put the super crawl on him there at the last.
I'm surprised, I really am shocked that he stayed there as long as he did and allowed us to do that.
That was fun.
We crawled probably, I don't know, 20 yards, 15, 20 yards, which made the shot possible.
End result is a dead Missouri gobbler.
Dead gobbler.
Awesome.
Oh, been so long since I tagged one, I can't even do that.
Now it's Tad Brown's turn. He got some amazing footage down there where he lives in southwest Missouri. Let's take a look at some of that action. All across the country, we had good luck with King Strut. I mean, what an amazing innovation when it comes to decoys and decoy placement. Now, you no longer have to depend on just a hen or just a jake. You've got that dominance in your corner. I mean, turkeys have egos just like humans. He sees that full strutter, he's gonna come on in. I've never seen a product or a decoy that had turkeys react in such a manner. I mean, it elicited a response that we just couldn't have dreamed of. One thing you can do when you're out there with your decoy in place, the King Strut decoy, is keep in mind what type of calling you're doing. Obviously, I'm gonna try and play the part of a hen. You wanna lure the gobbler in so far he thinks there's a hen there, and then when he sees that strutter, he comes rushing on into your position. I like high-pitched calling. We've got the heavy metal box and the heavy metal aluminum. Both of these calls are 100% waterproof. They're both high frequency, and they're both very, very easy to use. Try them out this spring in combination with a mouth call and King Strut. It may be the deadliest combination we've ever offered at Mad Calls and Flambeau Decoys. Go out there, enjoy King Strut, and enjoy the sport we all dearly love. Enjoy spring turkey season, everybody. Thanks for the purchase of King Strut.